All right, what's going on, everybody? My name is Ken. I am the host of New Hiker Podcast. First of all, let's get it out of the way. It's not actually a podcast. That was the name that I came up with because it was an idea to begin with. It's, like I said, not going to be a podcast. It is going to be a weekly episode where I interview hikers who have a past. And it's not even a past. They have obstacles. And through the trail, they've overcome those obstacles. A lot of people get on the trail just to get on the trail. But once they get into it, there is a spiritual awakening that they have that somewhere along the lines, their past or their obstacle gets cleared up through the trail. The trail helps them get over those obstacles. Some people get on there knowing that we're getting on there to get over this. First of all, um, I should explain, I am not a hiker. I mean, I get out there and I do hike. I've not hit any kind of major trails. I've not done a through hike. I've not done anything. It is through watching other people's stories that have inspired me to go ahead and make the decision to go ahead and do that. Um, I do plan on doing the AT. I plan on doing a lot more. Um, let's talk about who's inspired me. Two major people have inspired me. Frozen Outdoor Adventure. He's inspired me because of his battle with depression before getting on the trail and watching his transformation along through the trail. It completely turned around. The other one is Second Chance Hiker. His battle with weight. Um, about 2 months ago, first time I jumped on a scale, and I couldn't tell you how long, since 90s. Last time I did was just after crack cocaine addiction. I ended up weighing 185 pounds. I'm 6'4". I was about that skinny. But a couple months ago, I decided to jump on a scale after seeing Second Chance Hiker. Pegged it out at 350. I say pegged it out because that's as high as the scale would go. I started hiking. I didn't change anything but getting out and walking. Walk back and forth to work, walk around town, hit the one trail that we have local here in town. Last weekend I went up to Coronado Heights. I hit that. I hit another trail in Marquette, Kansas, and hit that. Um, I'm down to 289 pounds now, so it's working. The podcast is to inspire people. A friend of mine on Instagram, adventure.jess, posted a post the other day. She's allowed me to read this post, and it explains perfectly what the podcast is going to be about. In this podcast, she does name a media outlet. And at that point, you're going to see me go because I don't want to name any other media outlets. So let me go ahead and read this post real quick. The important thing is I rushed to the finish line so I could go back to my boring life, said no one ever. Why do so many hikers treat their through hike like a race? I blame and similar outlets who seem to only highlight guests who hold an FKT. Rushing through a trail for a title is different from backpacking. I'm not inspired by these elitists. I want to hear about real people on the backpacking adventure. I want to hear about the amputee, the diabetic, the blind person, the domestic abuse survivor, the recovering drug addict, and the cancer survivor. I want to hear actual inspirational stories about people with difficult circumstances overcoming obstacles and enjoying themselves on the trail. The adventure will be over before you know it. Let's talk about how we savored the experience instead of pushed for its conclusion. As I said, that sums up the podcast completely. So what I'm doing is I'm reaching out to you, the hiker that has a past, that has an obstacle that you overcome by being out on the trail. I want to hear your stories. The goal is for you to come on and tell your story and to encourage one person to make that leap. If you would be interested in being on the show, put a comment down below. I'll get back with you. Email me at newhikerpodcast@gmail.com. I'll put the link down below. Hit the Instagram, message me there, link down below. Facebook page, message me there, link down below. And while we're talking about things down below, that like button, smash it. I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. Subscribe if you're going to be interested in hearing these hikers tell their stories. And if you're going to be really interested in hearing these hikers tell their stories, hit that little bell, select all. With that, have a good day, y'all.